Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, taking a look at the most recent price action for BTC and what I think is likely to happen next. Now as I get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? Let's jump right down into this one, right? We're going to be taking a look at Elliott Wave theory and smart money concepts in this video, taking a look at what has been going on most recently. So let's start things off with Elliott Wave theory. So following on from yesterday, we were talking about moving down into the $26,967 to $27,252 level. This is an area that we've already tapped into very briefly. You can see it right down here. And our expectation was to come down one more time, but we have actually broken above the swing high, indicating that that is actually complete down there. So we don't have to have that move down. We can mark that as our C wave complete, which can mark this C wave as complete, just a little bit shorter than you'd normally expect it to be. And we can mark this entire correction now as done. Okay, so all that is good. Now we can look at this move to the upside. I don't expect us to kind of continue to move up right away, but I would expect us to kind of move back down naturally and then move back up again. Okay, so we'll look at this as a pretty progressive move. Now, when we take a look at this structure right inside here, from an Elliott Wave theory point of view, we can see that we have this decent run here. And again, we'll look at this as a diagonal starting, wave 2, up here for a wave 3, down in for wave 4, up into wave 5. All in all, it will look like we have some kind of, I'm going to say it's possible that this is a zigzag pattern, but it might be easy to look at this as just a flat correction and be done with it. So let me show you what I mean. So down here we have a wave 1, here's a wave 2, up here's a wave 3, this will be a wave 4 and a wave 5 still yet to come. Now if we go ahead and we want to do our sense checks, we always want to check wave 1 is, or wave 3 is at least 1.618 times wave 1. It is, so that's all good. We know that we can see inside wave 1 here. If I come down into a 5-minute chart, we can take a look at this little area just here. And to me, it looks like we have a pretty decent run moving upwards in there as well. That actually looks pretty good there. So yeah, to me, this looks like a 1, 2, kind of 3, 4, 5 situation going on. And I'll look at this as a expanding diagonal rather than leading. If we go and throw this up here, we can see that one there. And we can kind of see that one there. Okay, this basically means that wave 1 is the shortest wave. That's right inside here. Wave 2, wave 3 is not the shortest wave, but not 1.618 times. Wave 4, and then you get the 5th wave, which is the largest one. Okay, so you can kind of see it looking like this. Okay, so we know that's kind of what's going on down at the bottom there, and that leads us on nicely. This is also a very nice impulsive structure coming up here as well, so it looks like we're in a pretty good run here, and we should be expecting that final 5th wave. So let's come back up into our hourly, and we'll talk about that 5th wave movement, right? So the 5th wave move right up here, and, you know, it's possible that it started already. It's a little high on the stochastics though, so I will put a line down here. We should not cross lower than 28,305 to keep this valid. Anything lower than that would basically invalidate this move. But we at the moment should be anticipating a move slightly higher, more towards 28,857 and 28,991. Okay, that there would basically be our 5th wave movement. Now, because this is just a small 5-wave structure that looks like it's in a C wave position, we don't expect this to be anything more than this. Once this happens, we then correct down and then we push back up later. Okay, so looking at it, it looks to me like we're doing this, and it's all fair game now for whatever happens after that. So we'll have that small push up higher, and then, you know, we'll have to see how things go, but the next move after that would be down, and would be looking to see, you know, how low that goes. Is it just going to be a small correction, or is it going to be a bigger one? We're yet to push up higher than 29,184, so until that happens, we could always look at this as a bearish situation where we continue to break on down from here. Okay, so caution a little bit here when it comes to Bitcoin on the smaller hourly time frame. Okay, so Elliott wave theory gives us the idea that we are still bullish here. I'm still looking for that push up higher. Now, from a smart money concepts point of view, you can, of course, acknowledge that we've left the fair value gap behind. This is another one. Again, it's pretty clear that there is an agenda to continue pushing price up higher to create more FOMO and to create more liquidity. I do think at some point the markets will turn. It's just a matter of time. How long that's going to be, I do not know. Can't time the market. But one of the things I can tell you is that we are still looking reasonably bullish on the larger time frame, like the daily, but bearish on something like the weekly. Okay, so it could still take weeks before we actually start to see price action significantly reducing the price, right? So it'd be interesting to kind of see how that plays out. But for now, we are still bullish here on our hourly chart from a smart money concepts point of view, right? So what do we see? Well, we can see that we have our big change of character. We're yet to actually have a CTS or a break of structure indicating that we're moving upwards. So that hasn't happened yet, but we have had this natural pullback down here, and that did actually produce some false flags as well, some false bearish flags in there. But we do see that we pull back nicely. Now, if we break up higher than this swing high up here, what that's going to do is it's going to give us the BOS, and the CTS is going to be pretty clear at that point that we are still looking at moving up higher. 30k to 33k, I think, is pretty much a major resistance blocker though, so it'll be interesting to kind of see how that plays out. So here we can see we have this structure upwards. We're above the 50 and the 200 EMA on the hourlies. We can see that we are finding this area of resistance right up here on the week high premium range. We do know that this is obviously a premium area, right? We don't want to be buying up here, and that fifth wave movement is basically going to be the end of that move. Now, it might be that we'd fail to push up higher than this area, and we get rejected, turning this weak high into a strong high. We want to be a little bit cautious about that. Like I said, the direction after we complete that fifth wave movement is going to be down, but I do think it's going to just be testing equilibrium again and these internal order blocks down here, because I still see there as a need and a requirement to push up a little bit further here rather than just collapse on down. So ultimately here, for everything that we see on smart money concepts, we can see that this fair value gap is unlikely to get filled out, and this one's unlikely to get filled out right away. Instead, what we're going to be doing is probably pushing up even further, leaving even more fair value gaps behind. Now, if I zoom out of this and just bring this down, you can see that all of these fair value gaps that have been left behind on this journey to the upside. This is irregular, okay? It's not usually this bad. Okay, so this is something that I'm looking at, and I'm thinking to myself, why would these institutional large funds be continuing to push the price up higher and leave these gaps behind? These gaps are an indication that there is insufficient liquidity in these areas, like in these ranges. And normally what happens here is if you're a large person, a large whale buying up a lot of Bitcoin, you're not going to continue paying premium prices on pushing up. You're going to wait for price to come down. This just tells me that the market is very unnatural, is being unnaturally pushed to the upside, right? So for me, it's quite obvious, but maybe for other people who are not so familiar with how liquidity in these markets work and how these gaps are left behind, to me it just doesn't feel natural to see that many kind of stacking up. And you can also see these on the larger time frames as well, such as the daily time frame and things like that, and they're pretty out of balance to where things normally would be. Well, sometimes it can take years to go ahead and fill those back out. I mean, you can see those from way back, but when you on the hourly chart like this, there's not normally this many that you kind of just keep stacking behind and leaving them there. But nonetheless, I think at some point we'll see the reversals, and we'll see that all those gaps will eventually get filled out. But that's where it sits for me right now. So smart money concepts still bullish. We can see that right in here. Technically speaking, we've still got this bearish signal down at the bottom here, but I would expect, there's one right inside here, just on equilibrium, bullish break of structure. So it's all bullish on even on the micro levels, and also on this level here. So all looking good from smart money concepts. On our daily chart, as you can see, we're testing the supply range quite a bit. We're consolidating down on it. This is a signal that actually we might be finding this as a bit of a demand zone, so not the supply zone that we have the question mark on here. We are, of course, testing higher highs, higher lows. So at some point, I am anticipating this moving down. And if I just draw this out a little ways, you can kind of get an idea as to kind of where that price may actually end up going back down to. And I'm expecting this to come down significantly lower at some point in the future. But again, again, can't time the market. But ultimately for Bitcoin here, that's how I kind of see it. I still see us with a potential move up higher, up to maybe as a maximum of around $33,000. I'm not really expecting it to kind of push past this little one over here. Let me just draw a line on it. Just over here, or on this one here as well. So you can kind of see 34,000 is an interesting zone for us, but we have to get past all this resistance and this resistance that we're currently in. And I think there's a ticking time bomb essentially here. It doesn't look to me like we can be too confident too fast. Big concerns are, obviously, as I said many times before, is that this is a big correction to the upside, big bear market rally, and then we come down very, very significantly, and this is going to be a one dragged out bear market. As much as I want it to be a bull market, I'm not convinced by what I'm seeing inside the data to signal such a thing. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. It's great to see some green in the market, but I'm not convinced that it's real, and I think it's all one big trap. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. If you have found this useful and informative, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and don't forget to join us down in Discord. Guys, until the next one, have a fantastic day.
We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.